The raid is now available. Ooh, that's exciting. You can now see Big Ed Mustafa on the Big Ed Mustafa channel. And I see my big giant head. And I remembered to mute myself. Hi everybody, it's Big Ed Mustafa. Welcome to another edition of Adventures After Dark. We are here with my namesake character, Big Ed Mustafa. He's a guardian. He's on Crick Hollow. He's level 114 with a bullet. He is plowing his way through Mordor. And yeah, so that's the whole thing. Pretty excited about that. Also excited to be logging in when Minas Morgul is available for purchase with Lotro points. Excited about that. We've got a new raid to play with. And I probably won't be doing most any of that. We'll see what happens, though. Anyway, welcome to the stream, and I'm just going to dive in and figure out what I need or want to do. So here we go. Puppet Box says, "Hey, Ed." Hi, Puppet Box. He was kind enough to let me know I had 11 minutes to finish getting ready for the stream. Puppet Box, I hit the stream button at exactly 10 p.m. Eastern as scheduled. I'm not talented, I'm not smart, I'm not even witty, but I can be punctual if I really focus hard. So I'm glad to be here with all of you. I hope you had a great week and you're geared up for a good old weekend. We are going to have some spring weather here this weekend. I'm looking forward to getting out and having some fun. Hopefully it won't be too dang windy. And I'm going to celebrate the beautiful spring weather with a crisp, refreshing, delicious Coke Zero. If you're not drinking a Coke Zero right now, hopefully you're drinking whatever refreshing beverage hits your fancy. I like Coke Zero. I'm going to stick with it for tonight. And it looks like I logged out in Enidwaith. I had gotten done murdering the ghost thingies, and I think I was picking on the half-orcs. Just a little bit of extra deeding to try to get some virtue up. Let's see what the hobbits have for me. Enter your guess. Hopefully we'll give the new car away tonight. It was a massive pile of copper scraps. I need drones this weekend. Yeah, I could fly some drones this weekend. I do have some drones ready to go. Chromite checking in. Hello, Chromite. If you think the video quality of my stream looks pretty decent, thank Chromite. He continuously helps me optimize things so they don't look quite so horrible. And I very much appreciate Chromite's advice on that and many other things. He also gave me some wonderful tips on helping my guardians suck less. Yellow line two-handed sword and is working out pretty well. So I am happy about that. The other good news is that if I happen to continue to play in Enidwaith on a level 114 Guardian, it's very likely I will not have to advance the death counter too much. Even I would have a hard time getting killed in this area. So we'll probably move on to bigger and better things. Also, we had a Zinger sighting earlier this week. I don't know if his computer's up and running better again, but Zinger did pop into chat and said hello while I was playing some other stuff. Actually, I could have been playing Lotro at the time. I don't remember. So I don't know if Zinger will be here tonight. But if he did, that would be a welcome return. If he doesn't make it or he's got something else going on, I will simply try to have fun without him. It's not 1080p. When they allow 1080p 60, I would be happy to give it a try. Chromite says a lot of people actually watch on their phones and you're better off running 720p. It appeals to a wider audience. Like I said, I take his word for many things. What should we do? What should we do? What should we do? Complete the queues. Looks like those are herbalism quests. We ride for Minas Tirith. Chromite says 1080p 60 is too much for many people's devices and browsers, so just better to do 720p 60 and have it pristine bitrate and encoding. There you go. Chromite says, I listen. That's why Chromite's still talking to me. If you ignore Chromite's advice, he likely won't give it a second time. Edith Aldora says, people who watch on their phones must have very young eyes. And very big phones. So that's a thing. Pantla checking in. Hello, Pantla. I have watched on my phone before. In fact, using Discord, I think I was watching one of All Up Enya's streams and was able to drop into his Discord chat while sitting in the car and was talking to him while Mrs. Mustafa was in the store and I was hanging out in the car. So that's the whole thing. I need scrolls, so we'll just start by grinding scrolls, I guess.
This your first time in Minas Tirith. Shame you couldn't see it in better days. We can only hope that the Rohirrim will arrive before it's too late.
I hope the Rohirrim will arrive.
When the time comes to fight, you'll be ready.
You know, one of the reasons why the Tedment started out as kind of a joke, but, you know, task item turn-in and inventory management and fishing and, you know, they're all kind of, they're not the sexy parts of the game, but they're parts of the game. And I kind of feel like grinding is part of the game. And I want to show viewers who happen by who maybe aren't playing Lotro or are curious about the game. It is what it is. I mean, it's stuff we have to do. And so we may as well show off the dailies. Plus, I need to do them. I need scrolls. I don't even have my imbued legendaries up to 400 yet at XP. Now the max level is over 600. So if I'm going to go to Minas Morgul, I'm not going to do it with my gear half powered up. So I am looking forward to Minas Morgul. I've heard great things about it. Haven't watched too many other people stream it, just so I don't spoil it before I get there myself. But all the feedback I've heard from everybody has been quite positive. Druid's Fire says, yay, grinding scrolls. Not exactly. Chromite watches on his Google Nexus tablet. That was a really good product, and then Google kind of got out of the tablet business. Pantla's on watching on Pantla's phone as well. There you go. Sometimes, anyway. Yep, I missed my turn. I knew I should turn west at East St. Louis. That's how many times I've been through these cisterns. It's like I looked over to read chat. When I looked up and I wasn't in the right hallway, I'm like, I missed my turn. Druid's Fire says, hopefully what Sev said last week and Monday will come true to ease the grind. Yeah, they need to do something. I mean, I hate to quit harping on it, but it's just like, oh good, another character at 114. I think I'll abandon them and go do something fun instead. I'm trying to stop myself from abandoning this character.
Mordor will regret challenging the walls of Minas Tirith. Mordor will regret challenging the walls of Minas Tirith. Mordor will regret challenging the walls of Minas Tirith. Every minute feels like hours. We can only prepare so much.
Not entirely sure the change to the virtue system eased any grinding either. I mean, it's nice that you can kind of pick which virtues you're leveling up, but my champion already had all of her virtues. I mean, she was at like 26 out of 20, 24 out of 20 on everything. Then when they change the virtue system, it's like, oh, good news, your virtues aren't maxed out anymore. I mean, ended up getting dropped down to like 54 out of 60 before the level cap increased, and had virtually all of her Slayer deeds done in every region. And it was like, yeah, you're not maxed out, and now since you did all of your Slayer deeds already, you don't have any way of leveling those up. Good luck. It's like, wow, really? So that was a whole thing. I know they're doing the best they can. That's really the conundrum, though. Because if somebody's already done the grind and then you change the system, that might be better for the players who haven't finished the grind, but is it fair to the players who have? That's a case where I'd already done the work, and I ended up... I mean, if it were possible for Galadriel to go find more Slayer deeds to max up the virtues she needed, would have been okay with that. But it was a case where, I mean, I don't have any Slayer deeds to work on. Or if I did, they were like Mordor Slayer deeds that don't give virtue points. So if they change an existing game mechanic, it has the potential to hurt some players. So I get that. You have to weigh all their options carefully, and even if they do make a change, it could be an improvement for the majority of players, but not helpful for some others. That's not fun either. Chromite says, Big Ed, did you see Minas Morgul is available to purchase with Lotro points now? Did you get it? Have enough? I do know it's available. I have more than enough points to get it. I'd assume so anyway, unless it's outrageously expensive. But I have just over 10,000 Lotro points at the moment. I don't expect Minas Morgul will be a problem. Although now that I say that, I don't think I've bought Vale of Anduin yet either. I do have Northern Mirkwood and Dale and the Iron Hills and stuff. I think that's all squared away. But, yeah, I could probably buy a couple of new regions. Members of the Withered Tree. Should be $24.95. Yeah, no problem. And I don't mean to poo-poo anybody else's favorite new race, but I don't have a ton of interest in the Stout Axe Dwarves. I don't play a lot of Dwarves, and I don't know why. It's a perfectly good race. In fact, I think Zinger's playing a Dwarven Hunter here on Crick Hollow when he plays with me. But, you know, I for whatever reason, I just don't relate to the Dwarves that well. I think I have one dwarf character. It's Shogrun, my jeweler cook guardian here on Crick Hollow. By weird coincidence, I have two guardians on Crick Hollow. A bunch of my Silverlode characters got ported over here during the server consolidation, and I had a duplicate. And even then, Shogrun doesn't get played much. He's mostly a crafting character. I do take him out of mothballs once in a while. I don't believe in mule characters. The presence of a mule character belies the very notion of role-playing. Nobody wants to exist solely to hold other people's stuff. Dwarves make great guardians with all the elves. Minstrels, too. Absolutely, and champions. In fact, there's been some talk about starting up either Raiders of the Lost Orcs or getting another new group together. And I always like the idea of getting a Captains, Wardens, and Minstrels group together. Just seeing how much noise we can make running around screaming at everything. Like that could be a hoot, or really bothersome after a short while. Maybe both. That's a good thing. I needed one more orc to murder, and there he was. Puppet Box says, I always roleplay my mule character as a banker. It's just his job to watch over other people's stuff. There you go, Puppet Box. Way to spin it. You must be in public relations. Blackfire84 checking in. Hello, Blackfire. Edith Eldora loves dwarves, and I think I have beard envy. As most of you know, I can actually grow a pretty decent beard when I set my mind to it, and Mrs. Mustafa doesn't protest too violently, so I guess maybe I need a break from beards. Probably doesn't help that my beard lets all of my gray hair show up. Alright, maybe not all of my gray hair. There's probably a few sticking out on top of my head. I look about 10 years older with the beard, though. Which is okay. It means I can buy beer without getting carded. Otherwise, that'd be a problem. Okay, maybe not. He does not want to fight. Wow. Pantless says, if I shave mine, I'll lose all my confidence. Unlucky, can't do it. And I wouldn't dream of asking you to, Pantla. Keep the beard. Mrs. Mustafa coughing in the background. Sounds like a lawnmower that won't quite start. She's not sick. I don't know. She just has a little bit of a cough now and then. She might be on a medication that causes that. I had a horrible time with something. My doctor prescribed a low dosage of lisinopril for something. I think it's a blood pressure medication. I don't have blood pressure problems. It was prescribed for something else. Gave me horrible coughing fits to the point where I couldn't hardly sleep. I had no idea what was causing the coughing fits. I mentioned it to another doctor. I'm like, yeah, I don't know why I've been coughing so much.
Lisinopril.
Lisinopril, yeah. And my eye doctor was like, did your GP put you on lisinopril? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, that's what's doing it. Quit taking it, and after about 2 weeks that'll clear up. And it did.
That's the same thing.
That happened to Mrs. Mustafa. So I was just trying to explain to everybody why you're coughing if you're not sick.
Well, I don't take lisinopril though.
I know. I was just mentioning it in passing that you might be on a med that's causing you to cough.
I'm just coffee.
She just likes making noise if I'm streaming.
And I actually have a ponytail.
And she has a ponytail. She's quite excited about that. Hard Hit checking in. Hello, Hard Hit. Loud Gas Passer. Wow, that could have been Mrs. Mustafa's Twitch handle. Welcome.
I like that name, Loud Gas Passer.
And it's my old friend Kamembosh. We will murder him where he stands. The next time you see Kamembosh, murder him with extreme prejudice, and right before you drop him, tell him Big Ed sent you. I'm tired of looking at Kamembosh. Honey, did you need some earbuds?
No, do I?
Yeah. I know you wouldn't want to disturb all of my Lotro stream friends by watching some nonsense and polluting the sound channel with your shows. I still love you, though, as far as you know. She seems unmoved by my declaration of amorousness. If you disturb the channel, I will tell Druid's Fire on you and you will be in trouble. That might carry some more weight with her. She's not afraid of me, but she respects Druid Fire's authority. Pantless says, speaking of sick, there's first guy with corona in my country. That's no fun. The quarantine camp, or at least one of the major ones in the United States, is Ashland, Nebraska, which is about 30 miles from where I live. Camp Ashland. I think it's a National Guard camp. Ashland is otherwise famous for having the nearest outlet mall, which oddly enough Mrs. Mustafa has not really worried too much about going to. What's wrong with you, and what did you do with my wife that you don't want to go to the outlet mall? She's been doing most of her retail therapy at the thrift stores, so probably better for everybody. Though she has this weird habit of buying weird kitchen gadgets and just continuing to stockpile them in our kitchen. So when I try to actually get a proper plate or pan or piece of silverware, it's buried behind a bunch of stuff she bought at the thrift store, and it's like, why do we have this here? Aurora Ember checking in. Hello. Druid's Fire says, say what? Respect my authority. Exactly. Aurora, we missed you Wednesday. I play Rocket League with a bunch of Lotro players, and we have a good time, and we figure the fact that we're all MMO players kind of helps handicap the game so that we can all play competitively. Aurora's getting quite good, by the way. And we kind of got sidetracked, and I didn't get around to Rocket League until almost midnight Eastern. And my friend Freelancer was quite upset that nobody had shown up to play. I did play with Freelancer a bit, though. We played well and had a good time. And you're like, wow, that was super boring, Ed, but at least you're done with your Minas Tirith dailies. Nope, that was one of 4, including Osgiliath, so now I can move on to the next section. The culverts or the cisterns, I should say, are, in my opinion, probably the most tedious. It's just not... none of it's super fun, but that's maybe the least fun of the 4 dailies you can do in the Minas Tirith Osgiliath area. So with that out of the way, maybe we can move on to stuff that sucks less.
Every minute feels like hours. We can only prepare so much.
Aurora says, thought you guys were playing Apex. Ed, how can I know when you go live on this channel? On this channel, if you subscribe to the channel and activate alerts, you can see all of the streamers go live. Otherwise, just know that I am scheduled for Friday evenings at 10 o'clock Eastern, which is Standing Stone Games server time. That's my regular scheduled slot on Lotro stream. I very rarely miss it. And I will sometimes play for 2, 3, 4 hours, longer if possible, if and when the mood strikes. So they update the schedule and it's visible on the front page if you forget what night and time I'm on. But Friday night, 10 o'clock Eastern, it's Adventures After Dark. I've been doing it for so long, I don't think I would know how to stop doing it if they told me I couldn't do it anymore. I'd be like, hey, Mrs. Mustafa, I'm going to play Lotro. Sit by my computer and watch me and pretend to be my audience. And she'd be like, no, I have better things to do.
How may I help you, friend?
Minas Tirith, main gate. There you go, Druid's Fire even popped a link to the schedule. Thank you. Edith says the cisterns are a pain if there are just a couple other people in there with you. Can't imagine how stupid it was when everyone was trying to do them at the same time. Yep, Friday night is me. I usually play Lotro on my personal channel Tuesdays and Thursdays. If you're not following that, there's a link to my personal channel. If you want to throw me a follow, it'd be appreciated. I'm just glad you're here now. And as Aurora Ember hinted, I do play a couple of other games. We were playing Apex Legends. I wanted to play... Apex gives you these daily challenges, and I like to get my daily challenges done just so I can get all of the different legends unlocked. I have 11 of the 12 unlocked on my account. And I popped on and was just playing by myself, and then friends started popping in and joining, and more friends started popping in and joining. And then when it came time to switch to Rocket League, Epic Uger, who is also a Lotro Stream Team member, and a couple of the other guys were like, yeah, I don't want to play Rocket League. If you're leaving for Rocket League, I'm quitting. And I was like, well, I don't want to break up the party. So Freelancer has also played Apex with us, so we thought maybe he'd be a good sport, pop over and maybe hang out and play with us, and he chose not to. So I finally left after a couple hours after we normally switched to Rocket League, and went and played some Rocket League with him and another player named Grape, who is a fantastically good Champion 2 level player. I don't even know how the rankings work, but Grape was on a Nerf account and just basically hung back and goaltended for us while Freelancer and I plowed through all of the competition. So we did rack up a bunch of wins that we probably didn't deserve to, thanks to Grape. But yeah, I felt bad about leaving Freelancer hanging. I just got my new wireless controller, and it's just like my F310, but it's an F710. Only I got the Chinese knockoff version called Logicool, but it's a legitimate Logitech controller. The factory that makes them just put a different name on them so they could sell them in different markets. And I went to the Logitech site and actually tested it out with their Link software, and it recognized it and configured it as an F710 gamepad. So I know it's the same as the Logitech. Works beautifully, really happy with it. Was looking forward to playing Rocket League, so... it was just kind of a case where Gore wasn't there, Epic Cougar wasn't there. I invited Aurora, she didn't show up. Doug Glendower wasn't available. You can catch Doug Glendower over on DDO Stream, which is a sister game also developed by our friends at Standing Stone Games. Although here at Lotro Stream, we don't talk about other games, even though that's mostly what I'm doing so far. But that's just kind of my week in gaming. And it was Aurora who ratted me out for playing Apex Legends, so I'll blame her. Thanks, Aurora. Yeah, I saw you guys in the Discord. Gravity42 checking in. Hello, Gravity. Gravity is also a recovering Lotro Stream team member. Welcome. Gravity plays with Epic Cougar on Monday nights. We just can't quite lure Gravity into playing with us on Apex. Well, and it kind of happened again today. I just sort of popped onto Apex and popped into Discord in case anybody wandered by. And the next thing I know, we had 4 or 5 people. I wasn't even streaming on Twitch. And we just had a bunch of people hanging out and playing Apex and chit-chatting. And that's the beautiful part about Twitch, is you get to meet new friends and hang out and chat and play games. And
The enemies of men approach. I hope you are prepared. The enemies of men approach. I hope you are prepared. The enemies of men approach. I hope you are prepared.
I hope I'm prepared
we can
too.
only hope that the Rohirrim will arrive
I
before
wish I'd
it's too
seen
late.
Minas Tirith in better days.
The enemies of men approach. I hope you are prepared. We can only hope that the Rohirrim will arrive before it's too late.
This
This
dude
is the first
suffered
time
some
in
kind of
Minas
head
Tirith.
trauma.
Shame you couldn't see it in better days. We can only hope that the Rohirrim will arrive before
Oh,
it's
no
too
worries,
late.
Pantla.
When the time comes to fight, we'll be ready.
Like I said, I'm glad you're here. And I'm glad Gravity 42 is here. Tip of my Gravity hat to Gravity. He did not make it. They did not make it. Did you need some earbuds, honey? Oh, I don't need to kill any more Easterlings. Throwers are kind of annoying, so I don't feel as bad about murdering that guy. Owen32 checking in. Hello, Owen. Owen is also a Lotro streamer, and you can check his channel out there. And speaking of fellow streamers and Lotro players, I had a very generous raid from Bloodborne the other night. He popped by with about 40 friends and said hello to us while we were playing Apex Legends. That was very nice. Hopefully everybody knows Bloodborne. I think I'm done.
When the time comes to fight, we'll be ready.
Yeah, I thought I needed to murder more wargs. I have some Slayer deeds on the outside of Minas Tirith to complete. Beast Slayer, and it's kind of interesting. The Shulahar don't count. You have to kill Haradrim. And the difference, somebody was explaining to me that the Sulahar are Southrons, and only the Haradrim are Easterlings. It's like, okay. I don't pay that much attention to that stuff. Because I kill gobs and gobs and gobs of Southrons. More gold defilers. Actually looking for Urukai as I wind my way over to the Causeway Forts. I'll do Osgiliath and then do the South Ramus. Oh, here's Urukai. You are not Urukai, so you get to live. You do not get to live. The ambient effect of Big Ed Mustafa on Lotro stream is already kicking in. Mrs. Mustafa is almost down for the count. You can imagine the narcoleptic effect that being married to me has on the poor woman. He did not make it. He did not make it. The rest of those are inconsequential. What lag? The lag is fixed. Don't mind me. I was just murdering your friend close to where you're sitting. Ponton Finberry checking in. Hello, Ponton. Ranger's here. Hi, Ranger. Never heard of him. He must be new. Ponton's been a good sport, letting me lead him to his death on a number of occasions, including earlier today. Welcome. I have culled the Urukai. And I'm at the causeway for it. It's perfect timing. Thanks for the shout out. I've been lax in my streaming. Howdy, chatsters. Ah, you're better off. It's a bad habit. The next thing you know, you'll be yelling at your wife for crinkling chip bags near your microphone, and she'll be punching you on camera. Nothing good can come of it. million health. I'll take a pass on him. Big Ed's damage output is not spectacular. Goofy old lady checking in. Hello, Goofy. Welcome, welcome. I had to ask the question, what's the difference between a culvert and a cistern? Cistern is fresh, potable water coming in. Culverts are used water going out. My knowledge of medieval plumbing is not sophisticated.
I
was
greet you,
unaware.
friend.
Now, if you get one of these Traveler steel-bound loot boxes, you want to immediately go to the Lotro store and buy a key to open it. It's basically how you win the game. I save all of mine. They're quite precious. But you want to make sure you buy plenty of keys. Edith, shh, don't give away my secrets. Besides, if you guys have been watching me at all on Lotro stream, you know better than to listen to anything I say or do. The only reason I'm here is because somewhere a village is missing its idiot. Risco Dad laughed. Thanks, Risco Dad. And Ponton. At least Ponton knows what an idiot I am. We had several instances where it was like, hey, let's go over here. We're all dead. Yeah, you guys should quit listening to me. I'm not a smart man. What I lack up in skill, experience, or knowledge, I make up for with enthusiasm. Yeah. Alright. Pending loot is cleaned up. We got item needs reforged. Item leveled up. I've got mail.
Ithilien is crawling with foes. The Morgul host must be defeated. The Rangers will not surrender Osgiliath. The city may be lost, but we still fight to defend it. We need your help if we are to fight the enemy. We must protect Gondor at all cost. I only trust my fellow Rangers.
I think I picked up a quest I didn't want to pick up. Search for Faramir. Not that that isn't a fine quest. Not anything I need to have in the queue at the moment. Risco Dad says, I'd love to stay and hang out, but have other stuff starting up here soon. Love hanging out in y'all's stream. Excited to be getting back into the game, and all of you guys' content definitely helps. Well, I'm glad to hear it, Risco Dad, and pop by anytime. Glad you're here. Potton says, I just play Apex for fun. I don't mind all the deaths. Yeah, you're pretty much going to die almost every game. Although Nick and Gwar and I did get another win today. That was exciting. That's pretty much the only reward, too. If you're the champions and you take first place, you get to live. What a novel concept. It's like Running Man. I got most of my Osgiliath Slayer deeds done. Oddly enough, except for roving threats. Oh, you guys are all Easterlings. I need to murder all of you immediately. We'll call the captain over. That should get them in a nice bunch. And down they go. Might win some. I won 4 times in Fortnite solo. That's awesome. Yeah, somebody that I stream with regularly on Tuesdays and Saturdays wanted to play some Fortnite, and Ponton saw us playing and graciously agreed to join us. Given Ponton's Fortnite skill, I thought, might do well at Apex too. Holy cow, I don't have Easterling Slayer Advanced finished. Yep. Don't jump in the water. Still need like 89 Easterlings killed. I think I do them, what is it, 16 at a time every time I run these dailies, so I'll get there. It's about the only Slayer deed I don't have finished here, I believe. Oh, I wonder, I'll bet I have the half-troll slayer deed left to finish too. Yep, 71 of 100 for advanced. Yeah. So that's less than 30. I kill 8 every trip through here, so that should be done probably about the same time the Easter eggs are done. Yeah, he ran out of ways to interrupt his stun move. Stomp is one. I wasn't sure if Cataclysmic Shout would do it, but it did. That was a happy thing. Anybody knows of... I know I'm forgetting the game terminology. But if you know of another skill I have that can interrupt a wind-up, let me know. Oh, charge, maybe? No shield, probably not very effective. Seven of 8. Chilled Veins checking in. Evening. Good evening to you, Chilled Veins. Welcome. Eight of 8. I think I got turned around. Not the first time, won't be the last. That is some scary, scary music. I got knocked out by a bat. I need a better helmet if that's the case. So I have a new strategy for this area. There's 2 areas where you can burn rafts and 2 areas where you can kill raft builders. But this area that I came to first has enough rafts that I don't have to go to the other area, except when I run out of raft builders to murder. But if I kill all the raft builders first, I can then go burn all of the rafts, and then the raft builders will respawn. And if I time this right, I can just catch the respawn and not have to go visit the other place, which is actually pretty close by. It's not like this is a big time saver. But I like one-stop shopping. And ideally, this would be about the time those raft builders start popping back up. And there's one now. And there's one now. And there's one now. And he gets to live because I don't need to kill him. So that just saves me from having to swing over to this other area, which is actually right on the way out of here anyway. It's just to the right here, but like I said, one-stop shopping. I think Mrs. Mustafa's out cold. And here's Morgrish again. Oof. I want to make sure I don't aggro Morgrish while he's walking past. And that's 6 of 6 on trolls. So I have all 6 of the Osgiliath dailies complete. Except I just took a wrong turn. And we can go back to the culvert and turn these in. Chat's grown eerily quiet. Perhaps we need to talk about food. It's been a good food week. We went out and got Ethiopian food with friends last Sunday. It was quite delicious. I had a beef dish called Tibi. On injera bread. This is Mustafa had the Doro Wat, the grilled chicken and egg.
What news do you bring, traveler?
If you haven't been to an Ethiopian restaurant, get to one. It's pretty yummy stuff. Yep, Gravity agrees. Ethiopian food is great. We also had Caribbean food recently. This is Mustafa's a big fan of the braised oxtail. What did I have at the Caribbean restaurant? Oh, I got Jamaican jerk chicken. On the bone, dark meat. I've got like 5-pack slots. That is fantastic.
The Rangers will not surrender Osgiliath. Ithilien is crawling with foes. We must protect Gondor at all cost. We need your help if we are to fight the enemy.
And if you do all 6 of the Osgiliath dailies, you get 2 Handful of Scrolls of Empowerment.
The Mughal host must be defeated.
Potton said, I like Thai food. I had plenty when I was in Thailand for 5 months. Ooh, I'll bet. I'd love to go to Thailand sometime. I like Thai food here in Nebraska, so I can only imagine how much better it is when you're actually in Thailand. Mrs. Mustafa claims to not be a big fan of Thai food, but whenever we eat it, I never get my leftovers. She seems to go through them quite rapidly, so I don't know what there would be to not like about Thai food. I think her biggest problem with it is it's not Korean food. So she'd be sitting in a Thai restaurant going, why is this not Korean? Much like when I'm in a Chinese restaurant, I'm like, why are we not eating Vietnamese food? I'm a big fan of pho. And banh mi. Talk about great fusion food. Just take Asian stir fry and put it on French baguette bread and call it a sandwich. Works for me. Oh, I think I'm still working on my Troll Slayer deed. That kind of comes with doing the dailies here, though, too. Sargareth checking in. Hello, Sargareth. Welcome. Oh, Edith Eldora says we're trying a Native American restaurant tomorrow. I need to fix some food. I'll be right back. We were talking about food, so now Sargareth wants to go eat. Juan says they cook a lot of food on the sidewalk there, like literally everywhere you walk, being sold on the sidewalks. Street food. I'm just going to get off the war steed. That seemed to be getting me nowhere. Yeah, these are Haradrim over here. I need to kill a bunch of these dudes. I'm not even working on the advanced Slayer deed yet, so need to kill about 300 of those at this point. Godlike Epic checking in. Hello, Godlike Epic. Welcome. We were just talking about food from faraway places. I mentioned having Ethiopian food last Sunday. Gravity chimed in that Ethiopian food is good. Then we started talking about Thai food. Excuse me. And Potton mentioned that he spent 5 months in Thailand eating a lot of Thai food. The Thai people never really had a hot dog, and then one guy started selling them and it became huge at his stand. That's fun. How are you? Can I join your Discord? You are welcome to join my Discord if you go over to my personal channel. Just type !Discord and it will pop up a link for you. Is this your first time in Minas Tirith? Shame you could have seen it in better days.
When the time comes to fight, you'll be ready. The enemies of men approach. I hope you are prepared. We can only
I'm
hope that the
prepared too.
Rohirrim will arrive before it's too late. The enemies of men approach. I hope you are prepared. We can only hope that the Rohirrim will arrive before it's too late. Is this your first time in Minas Tirith? Shame you couldn't see it in better days. We can only hope that the Rohirrim will arrive before it's too late. The enemies of men approach. I hope you are prepared. We can only hope that the Rohirrim will arrive before it's too late.
I don't see any trolls walking around. There must be other folks here. One. So I'm 13 of 100 on trolls for Advanced Slayer. That's a lot of trolls left to murder. I think I do them 8 at a time coming through here though, so. Indian food is good too when I was there as well. You are fortunate to be so well traveled, Ponton. I like Indian food as well. I'm always amused when I talk to somebody and it's like, I don't like Indian food. And it's like, really? Because you're describing an entire subcontinent with dozens of distinct areas and regional foods. They have 1.3 billion people there. So don't you think maybe somebody there cooks something good? Like you can just dismiss an entire subcontinent because you got a bad tiki masala one time. Like that's not even an Indian dish, that's British food. All British food is bad. Tiki chicken masala might just be the best of all British foods. Hi, Mr. Troll. I'm fortunate enough to have a couple of pretty good Indian restaurants right by the data center. We've got a couple of good Thai restaurants. Got a couple of great places for prime rib. Some good seafood, which is surprising in Nebraska. There's an outfit called Absolutely Fresh Seafood that flies in the fresh fish for all of the expensive restaurants and sushi places. And they have their own fish market, retail fish market, and a little oyster bar restaurant called Shucks right off of the main market area. In fact, I think we might be eating at Shucks this weekend. Some Indian food you get in the U.S. really is from the U.K. They added stuff to some of the well-known dishes. Alright, we're done picking on trolls for a little while. At least in game. We're done picking on orcs. Potton says, what I never knew is India, they have so many different languages. Kind of nice they have English now so we can speak to each other better. Yep. There's a tent. Each one of those different regions has at least one or two different dialects of their own. Yeah, and I got the carry-all, man. It cost a lot. Heard it costs a lot, but congrats on picking up the carry-all. The whole key to winning a war in Middle-earth: vandalizing camping equipment. If you burn their tents and put out their bonfires, they won't be able to make s'mores. They'll go home demoralized. It'll be like, worst camping trip ever. I hate Sauron. What a jerk. We didn't even get s'mores. Okay, I am missing Crumbob, one of the captains. This is another one of those areas that's tough to share with others. The trolls are usually the problem. The two captains are on a fast enough respawn that if you miss one, you could normally trip across them a second time easily enough. Gravity says, also poison food supplies. Ardaga's the one I already got. My friendly neighborhood lore master here was probably the one who did me in. Killed the captain I need. Alpha Y2K checking in. How you doing, Alpha? Doing Minas Tirith dailies, I see. Yeah, just trying to... Literally the last one. I have everything done except getting the second captain here. And I've done the other two areas plus Osgiliath. So if I can find this other captain, Crumbob or whatever his name is, I can go get my scrolls and move out and either find something fun to do or go do something else that's tedious and awful. Where is that stupid captain at? Got Nardaga. Well, maybe the Lore Master's looking for him too, and he's broken. That would not make me happy. Yeah, I think I'm going to start riding through here. Oh, Crom Bob, where are you? Hey, look who's here. And down he goes. He's hiding for his life. Always a pain when the last tent or whatever you can't find it. Yeah, it's always an adventure.
Is this your first time in Minas Tirith?
It is. It's my
Shame
very
you
first
couldn't
time
see
in
it
Minas
better
Tirith.
days.
Thank you so much for asking me. The sewers is the one I hate. I did it first to get it out of the way. Although, as previously mentioned, Osgiliath is the sewers. The cisterns of Minas Tirith are actually fresh incoming water. I did not know. I had to
We
ask.
can only hope that the Rohirrim will arrive before it's too late. When the time comes to fight, we'll be ready. We can only hope that the Rohirrim will arrive before it's too late. This is your first time in Minas Tirith. Shame you couldn't see it in better days. The enemies of men approach. I hope you are prepared.
Me too.
This is your first time in Minas Tirith. Shame you couldn't see it in better days.
7. So I got 9 total. 7 from Minas Tirith, 2 from Osgiliath. Okay, I'm going to apologize in advance. If you need to use the restroom, you should mute your sound now. Can you only have one imbued LI? Oh no, you can have as many imbued LIs as you want. Yay, LI leveling game, super fun. Other two aren't so bad, but the sewers are a pain, especially when you miss the guys you have to fight. Yeah, those withered tree dudes. If there's anybody else in there at the same time you're in there, you have to kind of struggle to make sure you get all of the ones and wait. They don't respawn that fast. It's a bit of a problem. I cheated and used coins on my Cappy. I don't blame you. This is a wear out. I haven't made any secret of my lack of love for having to grind this endlessly on character after character. Retaking Torngroth. Sap Tapper. Saving the wilds. Snuffing them out. Gift from the enemy. Life springs anew. Plant seeds.
Well met. Well met.
Wow, I can't believe I can't sell any of that stuff. Oh well, it is what it is. Plain Sick Wit says, I used to play this game a lot, still running strong, huh? Alpha says, really no reason to imbue more than your main LI, though. No benefit to it. Best to just level them to max and decon. Alpha says, it's died some, but yeah, still active. It's pretty healthy, actually. The Minas Morgul expansion went pretty well. The Mordor expansion, there's lots of new areas, lots of new content. They just added the Sheila braid literally yesterday. And there's a lot of good new areas. Level cap's 130 now. And they added a couple of legendary servers. Yeah, the game's still going strong. There's still a very active player base. devs are still cranking out good new content. Not near what it was a few years back, though. Well, I have to admit my impression is mostly based on the Twitch community, which has gotten a lot stronger over the last few years. So, when I first started streaming, it was to promote Lotro, and the game was almost invisible at that point. And now there's a very strong Twitch community that supports it and shows it off and represents it well. So, yeah, I don't know that it'll ever reach peak Lotro again, but game's very healthy. And it's nice to know it's here if you ever want to come back and try it again. One of the best free-to-play models ever in the history of gaming. I'm notorious for being completely free to play. I'm what's known as a freemium player. I have cashed in Lotro points, but I've never spent a nickel of my own money in game. Never been VIP. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's a terrific game, and subscribing has lots of benefits. But if you don't want to pay to play, you don't have to pay to win. Yeah, I'm downloading it again. Awesome. Notorious B-Ed. Exactly. Twitch has brought life to a lot of games. Lotro is one of them. Saw someone playing Half-Life 1 the other night. A lot of excitement about Half-Life Alyx coming out. It's a new VR title. It's the first new Half-Life episode in a long time, so hopefully that will live up to its promise. And frankly, I was kind of excited about VR a few years ago, and I don't know that they've ever come out with a killer app. I mean, I'm not going to pay $900 to play Beat Saber. I'm sure it's a fun game, but not enough to where I'm going to go out and get an HTC Vive 1 to play it. Alpha says, I play it so casual anymore, I just enjoy the slow ride. I don't have anything past Mordor, I think it is. Well, some of it's not that recent anymore, but Battle of Pelennor Fields is just pretty amazing. And the Battle of the Black Gate, getting to play the Destruction of the Ring as Gollum, and I mean, they just really added some nice touches in the last couple of years. That's all I'm saying. Plus, the flower picking's never been better. That was quite the rapid draw in. Just do a little smoother transition than that. They do have a 64-bit client now, which is nice. Yes, it is nice. Oh, I suppose as long as I'm here. Hi, Mr. Bear. There he is. I'll pick up noisome flowers. Well, I've got too much crap in my bags. I'm going to have a hard time opening these herbalist baskets. Yeah, we'll figure it out. I still have to complete the gate quest. I completed just up to getting rid of the insta-kill at the gate. Ah. Well, I gotta run. I just wanted to drop in and say hi and chill a bit. Have a good weekend. Alpha, hopefully we'll get a chance to play a bit more. Have a good weekend yourself. Ooh, poop. Didn't notice how low I'd gotten on health. Alright, I don't need to kill any more orcs. I am done in this cave. We will leave. If you're still listening, Aurora Ember, I have a story that may amuse you. Where is that cat keeper? I will do very bad things to him. Alright, well, it looks like Aurora may have wandered off. I will go ahead and tell the story anyway. It is stream appropriate, at least as long as I tell it politely. But I was playing with Gwar and Alpha Y2K the other day, and SKDX Killer came popping in, and he had not met Alpha before. And we were just chit-chatting in Discord and voice chat. And Nick kind of comes rolling in as all up in you would say with a full head of steam, and he's like, effing this, and I gotta go do this, and blah. He was talking about equipping himself with an herbal medicinal product and some other things, and just speaking very casually amongst friends. And so just to screw with Nick a little bit, I was like, oh, hey, Nick, have you met Alpha yet? Oh, no. Hey, Alpha, how's it going? I said, yeah, I don't want to harsh your mellow or anything, but he's actually he's a clergy with the state patrol, so I kind of need you to just tone down the language in talking about any type of questionable substances you might be acquiring. Oh, I'm really sorry. And I started laughing. Nah, I'm just screwing with you. He's an IT guy. And then we all laughed and laughed. It was a good time. Hi, Ogre. How are you? Speed boost for the win. We'll run faster. Ginger checking in. Hello, Ginger. Uger's doing great. I am also doing great. I do have a serious problem, though. I ran out of Coke Zero and Mrs. Mustafa's sound asleep. I'm going to have to get my own refill at some point. Ooh, 56 marks from killing the cat keeper. Okay, everybody. Contain your excitement. It's fishing time. Nine-spine stickleback. A three-spined stickleback. A dirty skull. Driftwood and dirty skulls are actually the most valuable things you can catch. They're worth like 23 copper each. Ooh, a largemouth bass. I think the server is so stunned that anybody's even doing the tree tapper quest that it just can't compute. It's like, what? Somebody wants to do this quest. It's throwing it off. I hope I'm not getting disconnected from Lotro. Stream looks fine. I just can't move. I would guess a disconnect notice is coming my way. I want to live. Slice Stick says, same with Gladden. Tall Window Envelope says, lost connection to Evernight at exactly the same time. Ooh, that's creepy. Landerville the same. We're all losing connection with all of the servers simultaneously. Wow. Your connection with the chat server has been lost. That's going to be awkward. Alright, well, obviously we've got a probably a data center crash issue. Dang, got bumped and can't get back on. Goofy Old Lady says Arkenstone 2. Okay, guys. I guess I'm going to end the stream here. Servers are all down hard. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend, and I'll catch y'all later. Thanks for watching, and I can't obviously go raid another Lotro streamer because the servers are all down. So thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys all soon. God bless.